at home, it's me, Zetz here, and today is National Popcorn Day. And for National Popcorn Day, I'm gonna be sharing not one, but two popcorn recipes. One easy pink popcorn, and another leveled up pink popcorn. So if you're like me, a kid growing up here in the Bay Area, when I say pink popcorn, I think of one type of pink popcorn. That's right, literally, Wright's pink popcorn. If you went to the zoo, the aquarium, Stowe Lake, if you went to Fairyland, you remember this pink brick of pink popcorn. That's right, pink popcorn brick. Try saying that 3 times fast. So, the first recipe we're gonna make is not necessarily that recipe, but it's a fun and easy way for littles to get in the kitchen and help you. The second recipe is a little more complicated, and it reminds me oh so much of that pink popcorn that you could eat in that brick that was just there. So, y'all ready? Let's make a mess. So the first recipe is a Mallo pink popcorn bar. For this, you need 1 stick of butter. I'm using clear vanilla extract, 1 packet of cherry Kool-Aid. I'm gonna use about 3/4 of a cup of unpopped kernels to make about 4 quarts of popped popcorn. I'm gonna use an air popper. Then you need a bag of mini marshmallows, 1/2 cup of sugar, and some non-stick cooking spray. So I popped all my popcorn for 2 recipes. Now, I use an air pop popper because it doesn't add anything, no flavors, no salt, no nothing. It literally is just air pop popcorn. It doesn't add any additional fats. You can use any method to pop your popcorn, even microwave. Just know that whatever popcorn you use will affect the flavor. So this is the most basic that I could get, and I'm gonna do it. So we popped enough for both of our recipes today, so we did 3 batches. So the next thing you wanna do is separate your good popped kernels from your unpopped, or what they call old maids. I thought that was just a card game, but apparently it's also popcorn kernels that don't pop. So I'm just gonna use my hands are washed, they're clean, and I'm gonna pull out 4 liters of popcorn for our recipe. So once I got my 4 quarts, I'm gonna set it to the side. All right, now here's where the fun part is. This is a great recipe again for littles because it really is just mixing and melting. To get started, I am going to put my 1 stick of butter in our pot. I am going to add to that a 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm gonna start melting that in there. Open my mini marshmallows. I'm gonna take out 1 handful to reserve for later. Okay, I'm just gonna add the rest into my melted butter and my sugar. And I'm gonna stir it until it's good mix. So this recipe, we've done it before, and on our TikTok, you can follow us there. We did poke balls. We did popcorn balls and dipped them in white chocolate and added a little button, and we turned them into our very own little popcorn poke balls. And now it's time for our flavoring. I'm gonna use a package of cherry Kool-Aid. This is gonna give us our color and our flavor. And to that, I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of clear vanilla extract. Give it a good stir. So now that this is mixed, I took it off the heat. I put it on a heat-safe surface on my countertop. Step 1, take your non-stick spray and get your bowl nice and coated. Then pour in your popcorn. Then I'm gonna add those mini marshmallows we kept in reserve. That's gonna give us a little bit of bite here and there. It's not gonna fully melt. And the last step, pour in our Mallo mix. Then stir it, making sure to get it all over everything. So once it's all nice and coated, I'm gonna transfer it over here to my cookie sheet. Instead of parchment paper, I'm using a sill pad. If you wanted to, instead of making bars, you could just grease up your hands, grab it with your hands and make nice popcorn balls, and you're done. You're done there. I'm trying to recreate those great pink popcorn bars from my childhood. So I'm gonna put it on this cookie sheet and spread it out so I can make miniature bars myself. And then what I like to do, I get another sill pad, put it on top, or parchment paper, and then you're just gonna push it all the way out. I'm gonna put another pan on it and just give it a good push. Trying to compact it, nice. I am bulk. Then leave it on the counter to cool. That's it for this one. Y'all ready for the next one? So here's our second recipe, our leveled up pink popcorn. Again, this pink popcorn totally reminds me of that pink popcorn I had as a kid. Did a couple tweaks, But here's what it is, and this is what you need. 4 quarts of popcorn, 1/4 cup of water, clear vanilla extract, cherry flavored candy flavoring, 1/4 cup Caro light corn syrup, 1/4 cup of butter, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 cup of sugar, some pink food coloring, and a pinch of salt. In your pot, put your stick of butter, your 1 cup sugar, your pinch of salt, pinch, 1/4 cup corn syrup, and 1/4 cup of water. Now I'm gonna use the same little cup as my corn syrup to try to get the last of the corn syrup out. Once that's there, clip on your thermometer. I'm using this big thermometer. I'm trying to get my sugar mixture up to 230 degrees, and then I'm gonna take it off the heat. Because I have the butter and the other stuff, I'm gonna stir it, and I'm gonna bring the liquid onto my thermometer to get the correct temperature. Part of the reason is my pot's too big for the size recipe I'm making, and the other reason is that I don't want the butter to burn. This is candy flavoring. You wanna use candy flavoring when you're making candy. I got this at Sugar and Spice over on Juniper Serra here in Daly City. # they're not sponsored. But for really tiny stuff, you have great ladies that work there that will give you some really great helpful hints on what to use. When I was a kid, we used to make taffy in our kitchen, like have taffy pulls, and we would always go there and get ourselves all the flavors that we needed to make our own taffy at home. If you wanna hear our taffy recipe, leave a comment down below that you want us to give it to you. And done. 5 drops of the candy flavoring is equal to about a teaspoon of flavor. So I'm gonna just put it in 4 or 5. I mean, it's a little less than 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of vanilla. About 10 drops of pink food coloring to make it really pink. And then lastly, this is where the cool thing happens. You see how it has this glass texture? Watch what happens when I add the baking soda. And then I give it a stir. It's gonna start foaming and fizzing. You see all those bubbles coming in? Oh, smell that. Oh, that smells so good. It smells like childhood. Using the same trick from last time, I'm gonna start with spraying my bowl, pouring in my popcorn, and then I'm gonna pour and drizzle in all of the goodness. Being as gentle as I can, I'm gonna go ahead and mix it around. Now, you might be wondering why I'm using a wooden spoon. Is the other spatula was still wet and then you don't want to put more water in something. It's also the spatula I was using can get hot. So you want to use some kind of cooking tool that will not get hot with the candy mixture, and metal conducts heat, wood does not. So you still want to be very, very careful. Oh God, can you smell this? Can you smell it? Can you smell? And once you got it good and coated, and it looks like I did a pretty good job, I'm gonna transfer it to my Silpad loaded cookie sheet. Give it a good spread around. I'm pressing it together. That's it, now we gotta let it set.
So like, was it actually a brick?
Yeah, no, like when you would go to the zoo or the aquarium or whatever, it was like this big pink brick, and I never remember it being stale, but I do remember it being weird. I would always look for the darkest pink section because that always had the most flavor out of all of it. But until somebody said it was this stale brick, I never even realized that was a stale. Stale is a flavor. But yeah, so they sold it everywhere. You couldn't escape it wherever you went, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, you recording?
Oh, dude. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Woo! Oh, that was awkward. Okay, so we made our pink popcorn, our 2 batches. This first one with the marshmallow is still ooey and gooey, and it's ooey gooey to the touch. It always is gonna keep that consistency. And our second batch we made, the one that is closer to what I remember as pink popcorn, is a lot less gooey, but it is still like a 2.0 version of that popcorn. It's nice and tasty. So the next step and the last step is to cut the bars. So I got a cutting board out, get it out of my pan. Oh, do you see that? Okay. Now remember how I said it's ooey and gooey? If I let it rest a little more, it would probably get less gooey. But you know, if you're 5 years old and you're getting one of these period, it's gonna be delicious. Just got a really sharp knife. You could even use a pizza cutter if you want. I might leave these for a little bit longer to set, but I just wanna show you. This is a pink popcorn version 1. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Delicious still. It's a little bit like a Laffy Taffy because it's still very sour from the flavoring we used, being the Kool-Aid, and there's not a good balance, but oh, it's still really, really, really good. So this is our second batch that came out. It's a lot thicker. It's still ooey, it's still very like delicious. Oh, shut up. So now I'm gonna cut my bars. Because this doesn't have the gelatin in it, it is just cooked sugar. It is going to have a quicker and lower set point. Now I know you're looking at it going, those aren't the bars I remember. No, because how many of us ever were able to finish the bar? So I'm cutting it into smaller, more manageable pieces. Once you've made your pink popcorn, you want to eat it right away. Make sure you have some friends with you, trust me. The other thing to know is you could wrap it in wax paper or saran wrap or parchment paper and let it stay in there, but you want to keep it in an airtight container whenever possible. It doesn't have a fair chance in my house to stay in that airtight container, but it's good. All right, everybody, that's it for National Popcorn Day and our 2 pink popcorn recipes. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you remember pink popcorn. Okay, everybody, that's it for now. Make sure to stay safe and have fun!